The Mercy Strike. The UES Hippocrates hung in space like a pearl against black velvet, its pristine white hull adorned with the Universal Medical Cross glowing a gentle blue. At nearly 3 kilometers long, it was humanity's crowning achievement in medical technology, a floating city of healing that represented everything humanity hoped to become among the stars. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the ship's central medical bay, performing a delicate neural reconstruction on a Fraxian child. The alien's crystalline skin sparkled under the surgical lights as she carefully manipulated the quantum-scale medical nanites. The procedure would have been impossible just a decade ago, but human medical technology had advanced exponentially since first contact. "Doctor, we're picking up unusual activity at the edge of our sensor range," Lieutenant James Martinez reported from his station. "3 vessels just dropped out of FTL. They're not broadcasting identification." Sarah didn't look up from her patient. The Hippocrates received thousands of emergency cases each month. Everything from spaceborne plagues to genetic disorders that puzzled even the most advanced civilizations. They were currently in the Outer Rim, providing aid to refugees from a recent solar storm that had devastated 3 colony worlds. "Standard protocol, Lieutenant. Broadcast our medical status and prepare emergency receiving bays." The ships didn't respond to the broadcasts. Instead, they accelerated toward the Hippocrates, their engine signatures finally registering in the hospital ship's database. Kryvax warships, sleek, predatory vessels that resembled crystalline arrowheads. Multiple weapon systems powering up. Martinez's voice cracked. "This isn't possible. They can't. We're a medical vessel." Sarah's hands remained steady as she completed the final neural connections in her patient's brain. "Initiate emergency protocol Asclepius. Get all critical patients to stasis. Upload our medical database to Quantum Boys." She looked at her team. "We took an oath. We save everyone we can." The first blast struck just as Sarah sealed her patient's neural cavity. The Hippocrates advanced shields, designed to protect against solar radiation and cosmic interference, held for precious seconds before failing. The ship's civilian-grade armor stood no chance against military weapons. Multiple hull breaches on decks 3 through 7, the ship's AI reported calmly. "Emergency force fields are holding. Casualty reports incoming. Medical database upload at 47%. Sarah worked with her team to secure patients into emergency pods. The Hippocrates carried over 10,000 patients from 100 different species. Some were in such delicate condition that moving them meant certain death. Others required constant care from the ship's specialized medical systems to survive. The Kryvax ships struck with surgical precision, targeting the hospital ship's most advanced medical sections first. They weren't just attacking. They were hunting for something specific. "They're going after the regeneration labs," Dr. Marcus Wong shouted from across the bay. "The new protocols. The ones we developed for the Lazarus Project." Sarah's blood ran cold. The Lazarus Project. Humanity's breakthrough in cellular regeneration. Technology that could potentially reverse death itself if administered quickly enough. They'd kept it quiet, still testing it carefully, using it only in the most desperate cases. Somehow, the Kryvax had learned about it. Database upload at 89%. The AI announced as another blast rocked the ship. Emergency pods launching. "Warning. Hostile forces are targeting escape vehicles." Sarah made a decision. "Transmit on all frequencies, priority ultraviolet. Authorization Chen 7 Alpha Medical." She took a deep breath. "This is Dr. Sarah Chen of the UES Hippocrates. We are a medical vessel carrying over 10,000 critical patients. The Kryvax Empire is actively targeting civilian medical facilities and escape pods. They are in violation of every medical neutrality treaty in known space." She paused, knowing her next words would change everything. "To any Earth forces receiving this, the Hippocrates carries the future of medical science in her databanks. Do not let them take it." The ship's structure groaned as another blast struck home. Sarah turned to her patient, the small Fraxian child still unconscious, unaware that they were living through a moment that would reshape galactic politics forever. "They're boarding," Martins reported, his voice now steady with resolve. "Multiple breach points. Security teams are engaging. But keep working," Sarah ordered her medical team. "Every life we save is a victory they can't take from us. Every patient we protect is proof of why we're better than them." She loaded a neural disruptor, a medical tool repurposed as a weapon. "The oath says first, do no harm. It never said we couldn't defend ourselves." The Kryvax would learn an important lesson today. They thought attacking the hospital ship made humanity weak. They were about to discover that nothing was more dangerous than humans protecting those under their care. As the sound of weapons fire grew closer, Sarah Chen stood her ground, protecting her patients. The Hippocrates might fall today, but her message was already racing across space. Humanity had extended its hand in peace, offering healing to any who needed it. Now they would show the galaxy what happened when that peace was violated. The Kryvax had attacked a hospital ship. They were about to learn why every spacefaring race had one universal rule: never make humanity angry. Silent Thunder. Admiral David Okonjo stood in Earth's Strategic Command Center, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing the last known coordinates of the UEA's Hippocrates. The massive underground facility beneath Geneva hummed with controlled chaos as Earth's military leadership processed the implications of what had just happened. "Play it again," he ordered, his voice carrying the weight of 20 years of naval command. The quantum-encrypted distress signal from Dr. Chen filled the room once more, each word burning into the consciousness of everyone present. "Initial casualty reports are still coming in," General Sarah Martinez reported, her uniform bearing the insignia of Earth's Medical Corps. "Of the 10,000 patients aboard, we've confirmed only 3,000 survivors in escape pods. The Kryvax." She paused, struggling to maintain her professional demeanor. "They specifically targeted pods containing our most critical cases." The room fell silent. The Hippocrates hadn't just been a hospital ship. It had been hope given form, a testament to humanity's dedication to healing, to helping, to making the galaxy a better place. Now it was a debris field of broken dreams and shattered promises. "Show me the attack pattern analysis," Okonjo commanded. The holographic display shifted, showing the precision strikes the Kryvax ships had made. They knew exactly where to hit. This wasn't random. Dr. James Wilson, head of Earth's Medical Research Division, stepped forward. "The Lazarus Project data was their primary target. We've confirmed they managed to download portions of our database before the ship's AI initiated emergency protocols." He manipulated the display, showing the specific sections of the ship that had been targeted first. "They were after our breakthrough in cellular regeneration technology." Admiral Okonjo's expression hardened. "They attacked a hospital ship for corporate espionage." "Not just that," Intelligence Director Maya Patil interjected, her Indian accent clipping her words sharply. "We've been analyzing communications traffic across Kryvax space. This was a calculated move. They've been systematically targeting medical facilities across 3 sectors. But this is the first time they've been bold enough to attack a major vessel." The implications were staggering. The Kryvax weren't just after technology. They were trying to establish a monopoly on advanced medical care. Control the ability to heal, control the galaxy. What they didn't know, Dr. Wilson continued, is that the Lazarus Project was only phase 1. The Quantum Boys received a complete upload of our medical database, including Project Phoenix. That got everyone's attention. Project Phoenix was classified beyond top secret, the next generation of medical technology that made the Lazarus Project look primitive in comparison. The ability to not just heal, but to enhance, to perfect, to push the boundaries of what was possible. "The Kryvax thought they could steal our future," Admiral Okonjo said quietly. "Instead, they've given us a reason to reveal it." He turned to the assembled leadership. "Initialize Operation Silent Thunder. Contact our allies in the Fraxian Collective and the Auroran Republic. It's time they learned what humanity does when someone violates our most sacred principles. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Earth's dormant shipyards, hidden in asteroid belts and beneath the surfaces of uninhabited moons, began powering up. Ships that had been disguised as civilian vessels shed their peaceful facades, revealing weapons that humanity had developed but hoped never to use. The Krivaks believe they understand human medicine. Admiral Okonjo addressed the assembled fleet commanders. They think they can steal it, copy it, use it for their own gain. What they don't understand is that our medical technology advanced so quickly because we never stopped preparing for war. Every breakthrough in healing taught us new ways to fight. Every advancement in cellular regeneration showed us how to make our ships more resilient. We didn't just learn to heal the body. We learned its every weakness. The holographic display showed the gathering fleet, ships that appeared to be standard Earth vessels, but carried technologies that would make the Krivaks' stolen medical data seem primitive by comparison. Vessels with hulls that could heal themselves, weapon systems that targeted with cellular precision, and defensive systems based on the human body's own immune response. They attacked our healers. Okonjo continued, his voice carrying across quantum channels to every ship captain. They'd murdered our patients. They violated every principle of medical neutrality that civilized species hold sacred. Now they'll learn why Earth's symbol for medicine includes a staff wrapped with serpents. We heal, but we also know precisely where to strike. The fleet began moving, each ship carrying the memory of the Hippocrates and her fallen crew. The Krivaks had thought they were attacking humanity's weakness, its compassion, its dedication to healing. They were about to discover they had instead awakened humanity's full strength. As the ships disappeared into FTL, Admiral Okonjo sent one final message to Earth Command. Operation Silent Thunder is commenced. May God have mercy on the Krivaks, because we will not. The web of allies. Ambassador Elena Torres stood before the Galactic Council, her weathered face illuminated by the soft blue light of the chamber. The massive amphitheater, designed to accommodate representatives from over 300 spacefaring species, had never felt so silent. "We stand before you not to ask permission," she declared, her voice steady, "but to present evidence." The holographic display behind her showed the final moments of the UES Hippocrates. The Krivaks Empire has violated not just human laws, but the fundamental principles that bind civilized species together. The Krivaks representative, High Commander Zextal, rose from his crystalline seat. The human vessel was carrying illegal medical technology. We were within our rights to silence. The word came from an unexpected source. The Phyraxian elder, Tellar, his crystalline form pulsing with barely contained rage, stood. My own child was aboard that vessel, receiving treatment that our own medical science could not provide. The humans asked nothing in return. They healed because they could. One by one, other representatives began to rise. The Auroran delegation, their energy forms flickering with emotion, spoke next. The Hippocrates saved 3 of our colonies from extinction when the plague struck. They refused payment. They asked only that we help others in turn. Ambassador Torres watched as the truth she had suspected began to emerge. The Krivaks hadn't just attacked humanity. They had attacked hope itself. Every species in the chamber had a story about human medical ships arriving in their darkest hours, about human doctors working to understand alien physiologies, about Earth's determination to heal anyone who needed help. We have gathered evidence, Torres continued, activating a new holographic display. The attack on the Hippocrates was not an isolated incident. The display showed a pattern of Krivaks raids on medical facilities across the galaxy. They seek to control access to advanced medical care, to make healing a weapon. The chamber erupted in angry murmurs. The Krivaks representative's crystalline form began to pulse with defensive patterns. These are internal security matters. The Galactic Council has no jurisdiction. We are not here for jurisdiction. Torres cut him off. "We are here to announce humanity's response." She gestured, and a holographic display changed again, showing Earth's fleet emerging from hidden shipyards. "For too long, we have hidden our true capabilities. We wanted to be known for our healing, not our strength. The Kryvax has forced our hand." The Auroran Prime, a being of pure energy, floated forward. "The Auroran Republic stands with Earth. Our fleets are yours to command." Their form pulsed with determination. "You helped us master diseases that had plagued us for millennia. We will help you excise this cancer from the galaxy." Tel'ar of the Fraxian Collective raised his crystalline arm. "The Collective joins this alliance. The humans understand healing better than any race we have encountered. It is time they showed the galaxy how that knowledge can be applied to warfare." One by one, other species pledged their support. The Mirian Confederation, whose underwater cities had been saved by human environmental engineering. The Voltex hierarchy, whose genetic degradation had been halted by human medical research. Even the notoriously isolationist quantum consciousness of the Zeth committed their considerable technological resources to the cause. Ambassador Torres felt a deep satisfaction as she watched the alliance form. The Kryvax had believed that attacking a hospital ship would show humanity's weakness. Instead, it had revealed humanity's greatest strength, the ability to turn enemies into friends, to build bonds stronger than any military alliance through simple acts of compassion. "The human fleet will depart within the standard day," Torres announced. "Any species that wishes to join us may do so. Those who stand with the Kryvax should be warned. We will no longer distinguish between those who commit atrocities and those who enable them." As the chamber erupted in activity, Torres received a quantum-encrypted message from Admiral Okanjo. "Operation Silent Thunder is ready. The combined fleet awaits your signal." Torres looked at the Kryvax representative, who was now trying to leave the chamber as discreetly as possible. The Kryvax had spent centuries building their empire through fear and intimidation. They had never understood that true power came from helping others, from building trust, from being the light in the darkness. Now they would learn that lesson the hard way. Humanity had spent decades perfecting the art of healing. They were about to demonstrate how that same precision could be applied to warfare. The Kryvax had awakened a sleeping giant, not just humanity, but every race that had benefited from human compassion. As Torres left the chamber, she sent a simple reply to Admiral Okanjo. "The web is woven. Begin the operation. Show them what humanity's mercy looks like when it turns to wrath." Surgical strike. The combined fleet dropped out of FTL in perfect formation. Earth vessels flanked by Fraxian crystal ships, Auroran energy cruisers, and vessels from 24 other species. Admiral Okanjo stood on the bridge of the EFS Nightingale's Vengeance, a name chosen with deliberate irony. The massive vessel, officially registered as a medical research ship, now revealed its true nature as humanity's most advanced warship. "Multiple Kryvax defensive platforms detected," reported Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka, her hands dancing across the tactical display. "Their home fleet is moving to intercept, counting over 300 vessels." Okanjo allowed himself a grim smile. "Send the signal to all ships. Operation Silent Thunder, Phase 1. Diagnosis." Across the fleet, ships that appeared to be standard medical vessels began transforming. Hulls that had seemed smooth and pristine split apart, revealing weapon systems based on medical scanners. Defensive screens shimmed with patterns derived from human cellular structures. "The Kryvax are broadcasting a demand for our surrender," Communications Officer Garcia announced. "They're threatening to execute their hostages from the hypocrites." "Transmit Response Protocol Alpha," Okanjo commanded. "Let them see exactly what they're facing." The holographic displays across the Kryvax fleet suddenly came alive with images from their own medical facilities. Detailed scans showing every weakness, every vulnerability, every flaw in their ship's design. Data that human medical vessels had been quietly collecting for years while providing aid to their worlds. "Their fleet is hesitating," Tanaka reported. multiple ships showing signs of power fluctuation. They're realizing what we've done. Every time a human medical ship had visited a Kryvax world, every time they had scanned a Kryvax patient or studied their biology, they had been building a comprehensive database of their weaknesses. The same technology that allowed humans to heal their bodies now revealed exactly how to destroy their ships. Phase 2. Treatment, Okonjo announced. All ships execute precision strikes according to medical protocols. The human fleet moved with surgical precision. Weapons based on cellular regeneration technology targeted specific weaknesses in Kryvax ship design. Shields derived from human immune responses adapted instantly to Kryvax counterattacks. The same precision that human doctors used to save lives was now being used to dismantle an empire. The Phyrexian ships, their crystalline structures resonating with human targeting data, fired beams that shattered Kryvax shields at the molecular level. Aura and energy vessels, guided by human tactical analysis, disrupted the very atomic bonds holding enemy ships together. Enemy fleet is attempting to regroup, Tanaka reported. They're falling back to secondary defensive positions. They still don't understand, Okonjo said quietly. Show them Phase 3. Recovery. Across the battlefield, disabled Kryvax ships found themselves caught in tractor beams. The same technology that human medical ships used to stabilize critical patients now held enemy vessels helpless. Boarding parties, equipped with modified medical gear, began systematic captures of Kryvax crews. "Sir, we're detecting power spikes in their orbital platforms," Garcia warned. "They're going to." "Let them," Okonjo interrupted. "Everyone carries their own cure." The Kryvax platforms fired, unleashing what they believed to be unstoppable planet-killer weapons. Instead, they found themselves facing ships protected by technology derived from the human body's ability to adapt to disease. The attacks were absorbed, analyzed, and turned back against their sources. "Message from the Phyrexian fleet," Garcia announced. "They've secured the medical research facilities. The survivors from the Hippocrates. They've found them, sir. Some are still alive." Okonjo closed his eyes briefly, offering a silent prayer of thanks. "Begin final phase. Rehabilitation. Signal the Auroran ships to begin the planetary containment protocol." The combined fleet moved into its final formation, creating a medical quarantine zone around the entire Kryvax system. The same protocols human ships used to contain plagues were now being used to isolate an aggressive empire. "Receiving transmission from the Kryvax High Command," Garcia reported. They're requesting terms. Send them the prepared response," Okonjo ordered. "Let them understand the price of attacking healers." The terms were simple: complete surrender, all medical technology to be returned, all research facilities to be placed under international control, and most importantly, a new galactic treaty establishing medical vessels as absolutely inviolate, protected by the combined might of every signatory species. As the Kryvax leadership began their surrender, Okonjo looked at the display showing the recovered survivors from the Hippocrates. "Send word to Earth. Tell them the surgery was successful. The infection has been contained." The fleet hung in space, a testament to humanity's dual nature. Healers who had learned to fight, doctors who had become warriors, all because someone had mistaken their compassion for weakness. The galaxy would remember this day not just as a military victory, but as a lesson. Those who heal best know exactly where to strike. Tomorrow's price. 1 year after Operation Silent Thunder, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the observation deck of the newly commissioned UES Phoenix, watching the stars streak by. The massive hospital ship, 3 times the size of the Hippocrates, represented humanity's renewed commitment to healing, and its determination to protect that mission. "Doctor, the Phyrexian delegation is ready for the demonstration," Lieutenant Martinez announced. He transferred to the Phoenix specifically to serve under Chen, like many survivors of the Hippocrates. The demonstration hall was packed with representatives from across the galaxy. The Phyrexian child Chen had been operating on during the attack sat in the front row, fully recovered and accompanied by Elder Tellar. Behind them sat delegates from 50 species, including, notably, a small contingent of Kryvax observers. Project Phoenix was never meant to be a secret, Chen began, activating the holographic display. We kept it quiet not because we feared its power, but because we understood its responsibility. The display showed cellular regeneration at a level that made the stolen Lazarus project look primitive. The attack on the Hippocrates taught us all a valuable lesson, she continued. Knowledge isn't meant to be hoarded. Power isn't meant to be monopolized. True strength comes from sharing our capabilities, from lifting each other up. She nodded to her team, and they initiated the demonstration. In the medical bay below, patients from a dozen species were undergoing treatments that would have seemed impossible a year ago. Fraxian crystal flesh being regrown, aura and energy patterns being stabilized, even Kryvax cellular structures being repaired at the quantum level. The Galactic Medical Treaty doesn't just protect hospital ships, Chen explained. It establishes a new framework for sharing medical advances across all species. Every signatory gains access to our complete medical database, including Project Phoenix. The Kryvax observers shifted uncomfortably. Their empire, now under strict international oversight, had been the first to sign the treaty. Their once mighty military had been reduced to a defensive force, their leaders replaced by those who understood the true cost of their actions. But this ship carries another message, Chen continued, her voice hardening slightly. The hull of the Phoenix shimmed, briefly revealing the weapon systems hidden beneath its pristine surface. Never again will anyone mistake our dedication to healing for weakness. Every hospital ship now carries the means to defend itself and its patients. Every medical vessel is a reminder of what happens when you violate the sacred trust between healer and patient. Ambassador Torres, standing at the back of the room, smiled. The galaxy had changed in the past year. Species that had once viewed each other with suspicion now worked together in massive medical research initiatives. The technology that had been developed for war was being repurposed for healing on an unprecedented scale. The Phoenix carries more than medicine, Chen concluded. It carries a promise. To those who need healing, we will never turn you away. To those who would threaten that mission, she let the hull shimmer once more, a subtle reminder of the power that lay beneath the surface. The Fraxian child raised a crystalline hand. Dr. Chen, is it true that the Phoenix can regrow entire limbs? Chen smiled, kneeling down to the child's level. Would you like to see? She gestured to the medical bay, where a Mirian was having a lost fin regenerated using technology that combined human innovation with Fraxian crystal growth techniques. As the delegates crowded around to watch the demonstration, Admiral Locanjo entered quietly, standing beside Ambassador Torres. The Kryvax delegation seems impressed, he noted. Fear and force only teach more fear and force, Torres replied. But show someone a better way. Heal them when they're wounded, help them when they're desperate. She gestured to the Kryvax observers, who were now asking earnest questions about the medical procedures. That changes minds. The Phoenix continued its journey through space, its white hull gleaming with promise. Inside, doctors of a dozen species worked together, sharing knowledge, techniques, and wisdom. The ship's quantum computers contained copies of Project Phoenix, freely available to any species that signed the treaty. And deep within its structure, hidden but ever-present, lay the weapons and defenses that ensured this mission of mercy would never again be threatened. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't in its ability to heal or its ability to fight. It was in knowing when to do each. As the Phoenix jumped to FTL, heading toward its next mission of mercy, its hull bore a new inscription below the universal medical symbol: to heal when possible, to defend when necessary. It was humanity's promise to the galaxy, and a warning to anyone who might consider testing that resolve again.